Good morning, everybody. It's me again, your boy. Welcome back. Today, you're going to catch me fully suited up for the very final snapshot of the Caves and Cliffs era. Today, pre-release 7 of 1.18 dropped. We're going to talk about pre-release 7, and we're going to talk about the pre-releases I skipped, 4, 5, and 6. In today's video that takes place in this wonderful seed, by the way, we'll be taking a look at pre-release 7 that dropped today, as well as pre-release 4, 5, and 6 that I completely skipped. After this one, no more snapshot videos until 1.19. If you enjoyed the Caves and Cliffs era snapshots, then leave a like on this video, and if you're new here, subscribe. Brand new survival series coming very soon, 1.18. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be really cool. Alongside that, I've been working on some brand new, different, fresh content that I think you're really going to enjoy, so keep your eyes out for that. Let's talk about pre-release 4. 1.18 pre-release 4, Little Guy, or Short King for short. 1.18 pre-release 4 dropped literally right after 1.18 pre-release 3. Pre-release 4 fixed 3 bugs. The 3 bugs had to do with entering different dimensions. So like the nether, the end, it basically caused the game to crash. Wasn't good, so it had to be fixed immediately. That's what it did. Next pre-release, 1.18 pre-release 5. Aw man, this pre-release. So this is a big pre-release. I actually almost made a video on this pre-release because there are some pretty significant things inside of this one. Let's start with the bugs, or the bug fixes. Oh man, this list right here, this huge long list, these are all of the bug fixes in 1.18 pre-release 5. Pre-releases, bug fixes, common theme, a big connection right there. Pre-release 5, bug fixes, essentially the bug fixing professional or something like that, because so many bugs were fixed in this pre-release. One of the biggest bugs fixed in pre-release 5, and also one of the longest bugs in pre-release 5, has to do with stripped dark oak logs. Stripped dark oak logs, I love you, you're great, but no offense, I always knew you were off. Ever since their addition in 1.14, the texture has actually always been wrong. Since their addition in 1.14, the Java Edition texture of dark oak logs, the side of the log, has actually been lighter than the Bedrock one. In 1.18 pre-release 5, and then later on in 1.18 pre-release 7, the texture was darkened again. Right now, what you're looking at is how the log looks in 1.18 pre-release 7. It's a lot darker than spruce wood. This is going to be great for building. It's more options. I love it. This one? Well, this one perplexed me, but not only perplexed me, it also intrigued me too. I didn't know this was a thing. This is like kind of fascinating. Minecraft bug 162038. Pillagers have no hood texture. So check this out. These are the texture files inside of the actual game for the illager mobs. We have this one right here. We have that one right there. We have that one. Uh-oh, something's missing. And then we have this one right here. So this is the axe one. This is the pillager right there with the crossbow. This is the illusioner, which is in the game. It's just not used. And then finally, we have the... You're the evoker. I don't know if I'm ever actually going to remember their proper names, but yeah, the evokers. So all of those mobs, other than the pillager, actually have hood textures. They're not used, but they're there. The pillager does not have a hood texture. That's a problem. Or is it? It's actually not. According to the bug tracker, our best friend, this is actually intended. It's fine. No need to be alarmed. The pillager is not meant to have a hood all along. Alright, so warning right here. This next one might bother some people, but take a look at this texture. So you see that parrot? Do you notice anything about it? Or maybe like the melon seed. Do you notice anything about that melon seed? Or maybe even like these beetroot seeds. Do you notice anything about those? Or maybe even this red stained glass. Do you notice anything like specific, clearly specific about this? No? Maybe the flower pot right here, the cactus. Do you notice anything there? Oh, this thing right here. You have to notice something, right? Like you notice it, right? Clearly. Okay, so maybe you didn't notice anything, and actually that's fine. All those things that I just showed off to you have minor texture fixes in pre-release 5. So the bird wing, it was actually upside down. It's been fixed now. The cactus would get stretched inside of the pot. That's also been fixed. There was an extra pixel inside of this thing right here. That's been fixed, but looking at this thing, this is still not lined up. Like, look at that right there. That's so bothering. Once you see it, you will never actually like this thing again. These textures, the pixels right there, they don't line up. But yeah, I guess it's been fixed somehow. Beetroot seeds, melon seeds, they weren't aligned in the center, so that's a big problem. And then this thing. This thing actually didn't have the same opacity as the other stained glasses. I mean, I gotta send a big shout out to Elliot Beer for doing the hard work here. I don't know how you noticed this. Well, I mean, it's right here. This is how you noticed it. But the red glass, it was different than all the other ones. Good eye. A couple more texture fixes. The lectern base. The lectern base actually didn't match the oak plank texture. It's meant to, and now it does. It looks really, really good. Perfectly in line. The side of the dirt path texture was not updated in the texture update. Now it is. And the hammer inside of the anvil was also out of date. Digging through even more of the bug fixing list right here, it looks like a lot of the bugs have to do with 1.17 things as well. It's not all just about textures. A lot of these bugs specifically have to do with generation, it seems like azalea trees not generating, rooted dirt not placing correctly, azalea trees generating on top of big mushrooms. I'm still just wondering what an azalea tree is. I only know what the oak tree is with the azalea leaves, but I don't know. And this one is just cruel here. I don't know what they're on about. The Floating Islands preset does not seem to generate correctly, and they removed this from the game. It actually gave me a glimmer of hope initially, and I was thinking, oh, maybe they brought it back, but no, it's like literally gone. So they fixed the bug on the thing that's gone from the game, so I guess that's great. Very good. The other big thing about 1.18 pre-release 5 actually isn't a bug fix. It has to do with world generation. So let's say you have a world right now. Inside of that world, you deleted Bedrock, and right now, Bedrock is at Y0. When you upgrade that world, I believe generation shouldn't happen underneath the area where you removed Bedrock. Maybe you were working on some kind of insane build, a farm or something, and you removed Bedrock. If you removed Bedrock, you probably didn't want anything underneath that area. When you upgraded your world before, generation would fill in down there. That's a problem. You'd have to go back and delete the Bedrock again. It shouldn't happen now, if I interpret that right. The 6th pre-release for Minecraft 1.18 released earlier this week. 1.18 pre-release 6 fixes bugs and also changes 2 things. The first thing that it changes has to do with the cave features. So I'm always confused about what the devs mean by cave features. I think it means like things inside of the cave. Okay, yeah, clearly that definitely means that. The number of cave features inside of the cave biomes has been tweaked. I don't know if it's up or down or what it is, but it's been tweaked. We're going to test it out. So I generated this world in 1.18 pre-release 6. I'm looking around at this cave right here. There's dripstone all over the place, the big spikes. It's pretty cool. If we go over here and just look under the ground, see what else we have in case nothing changes there. Flooded caves down there, caves like this. I think all of the caves should be the same. We're looking at things inside of the caves, actually. You know, things like dripstone, and also I think puddles of water. Maybe that would maybe count, but we'll see. So this is what the world is like in pre-release 6. Here we are, the exact same world, except this time I made the world in pre-release 5 before that change. So now let's go down into the cave that was like literally right over here, and what's different about it? Okay, so this was the cave, the exact same cave, and honestly, I have no clue. Like, I don't know. Maybe it has to do with these things right here. Like, that definitely wasn't there before. Maybe like this thing too, like the big pillars, those definitely seem a little bit different, especially that one. I would have remembered that. Sliding under the ground looking for that water that was there before. The water actually isn't here either this time around. It seems that this adjustment basically has to do with the details of the caves. So from looking around at the caves in pre-release 5, things make a lot more sense and look a lot better in pre-release 6 when compared to pre-release 5. Like this right here, like what even is this? That's weird. Back inside of pre-release 6, just to make sure I'm looking at everything correct, yeah, the placement of all of these things has definitely changed. The other thing that pre-release 6 does is change when the game autosaves. The game is actually going to autosave a little bit more, which should hopefully help reduce the lag spikes. The lag spikes happen when the game tries to autosave at bad times. Hopefully that happens less. Whoa, look at how obvious this jungle temple became. Like, I feel like jungle temples are usually buried. I wonder if this is going to be a common theme with 1.18. Like, it's really obvious because of the cliff right there. Also, I guess because of the biome blend too, but yeah, super obvious. If I didn't fly around in this world, like, this would be, like, essentially the perfect world for a 1.18 survival. Like, this is so cool. Big jungle by spawn, that right there. It's, like, really, really cool. Now, back to the bug fixes. 1.18 pre-release 6 does even more bug fixes, except this time, nowhere near as many as pre-release 5. From the look of this list, at least in terms of farming, this one could have been potentially really, really bad to have in the game. If you made an ocean monument farm before 1.18, and then you upgrade your world to 1.18, the bounding box gets shifted, your farm is completely trashed. That could be really, really bad. And a day after that, pre-release number 7 dropped. In pre-release 7, what did it do? Well, partially, it kind of undid what the last pre-release did. So pre-release 7 increases the amount of cave features again. I've recreated the exact same world, except in pre-release 7 now. World spawn in the seed that is literally perfect is right over here, and the cave that we've been checking out is right underneath world spawn. Going back down into this cave, right off the bat, I'm noticing, yeah, definitely. The pillars that were right in this area before, yep, completely gone. There's a new pillar right here. I don't think that was there before. This thing, I don't know. And then these pillars. I definitely feel like these were here, but I don't know if this was the exact placement of these pillars. Pre-release number 7 increases the amount of features inside of cave biomes again. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to bring it all the way back to pre-release 5 levels or what. Maybe it's just a slight adjustment upwards. One final thing that we could check, though, just out of curiosity, is that water pool. Where was it before? Well, I guess I should have written down the coordinates to that thing. Unless, no, never mind. I take it back. I think it was this thing right here. Yeah, no, 100%. It was this spot right here. No dripstone anymore. No water either. That's different. Additionally, inside of Minecraft 1.18 pre-release 7, we have a very, very small amount of bug fixes. 5 bug fixes total in pre-release 7. Not a lot of bug fixes, but bug fixes, and any bug fixes are good fixes. The fact that there are less bug fixes in pre-release 7 when compared to pre-release 5 and 6 is probably a good thing. From my experience, as the pre-releases go on, the amount of bug fixes, generally speaking, usually goes down. The bugs are being patched, there's less to patch, so yeah. There's less in the pre-release. Perfectly logical, really. I mean, it makes sense. So you probably heard by now, the update release date is November 30th, 2021. That's next Tuesday. Less than a week away at this point. So what's next? What do we expect going forward in between this exact moment right here and next week, the update release? Well, in between now and then, there will be at least one more pre-release, except this time, the pre-release might be called a release candidate if it's the last pre-release. The release candidate is the same as the pre-releases, and also, it's basically the same as the update. I won't be covering it on this channel, but once the release candidate drops, the update is basically finished. After the update drops, like usual, I'll have a video breaking down every single thing added in the update, and then the new series. So that's it. That's going to do it for today's video and the Caves and Cliffs era snapshots. I had a lot of fun with these snapshots, but I'm super excited for 1.19. It's going to be sweet. If you enjoyed this one, the Caves and Cliffs era in general, leave a like on this video. Really appreciate it, and make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss the ultimate survival experience. It's coming soon. In between now and the update, I have some really cool content planned. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.